Today on my counter, I found a muffin. Now, how many of you like muffins? Many boys and girls like muffins for breakfast or for a snack. Today we're going to read a story about a moose who eats a muffin. So this is my story, If You Give a Moose a Muffin. Now, in this story, we're going to work on the order that the way things happen, and we call that order the sequence of a story. This story happens to be a circle story. And in this story, it's going to start with a muffin at the beginning. We're going to go all the way around through the story like a circle. And at the end of the story, guess what it's going to end with? A muffin. So that's what we call a circle story, when it starts and it comes full circle and ends with the same thing. So this is my story, If You Give a Moose a Muffin.
If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Joffe Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another and another and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. He'll ask for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. So he'll ask for some old socks. He'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. He'll need some cardboard and paints. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out, so he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much he'll knock over the paints. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he gets out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. He'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him the jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. Okay, we're going to start retelling the story with a muffin. And then we're going to do the sequence. When you give the moose a muffin, he's going to want some jam to go with it. When you give him the jam, he'll want another muffin and another muffin until you run out. So he'll want you to go buy more. So you'll have to head to the store for some muffin mix, and he'll want to go with you. Because it's chilly, he'll want to borrow one of your sweaters. And he'll notice that a button is loose. So he'll ask for a needle and some thread to sew that button back on his sweater. Sewing the button will remind him of the sock puppets that his grandma used to make. So he'll ask for some old socks, and he'll make sock puppets. He'll want to put on a puppet show. So he'll ask for some cardboard and some paints, and he will ask you to help him make some scenery. So here's some paints And he's got a nice background, so he gets behind the couch to put on a puppet show. But he'll notice his antlers stick out, so he'll ask for something to cover up his antlers. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. He'll see the sheet, and remember, he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He will put it over his head and shout, "Boo!" He'll scare himself so much that he knocks over all these paints. Then he uses the sheet to clean up the mess. Afterwards, he'll want some soap to clean the sheet out. He'll take it out to dry, and when he's outside, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Seeing the bushes will remind him of her jam, and he'll want some. Chances are, if you give him that jam, he's going to want a muffin to go with it. So we have followed the sequence of the story. We started with a muffin, follow all the way around in order, and we end with the muffin.
This is an activity you can do after our story. Draw a circle on a piece of paper, and in the middle you can write or have someone older help you. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. Then you can practice reading that sentence. At the top of your paper, put a muffin, and then draw and color the things around that happen in the story, making sure you follow the correct sequence. As you finish, you should be almost back up to the top where the moose is asking for a muffin again. You also might want to make some puppets. You could ask for some old socks and make sock puppets, or even make one from a paper bag.